How's it going, everyone? My name's Shane, and welcome back to the Horror Basement. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Ghostland, or Incident in a Ghostland, as it was released in the US. This is a 2018 Canadian horror film, which follows two sisters by the name of Beth and Vera. Vera is your typical blonde, preppy teenager, and she does not get along with her sister Beth, who is, for all intents and purposes, a goth girl that is obsessed with the writings of notable literary legend and repugnant racist H.P. Lovecraft. Now keep that little nugget that we're thinking of Lovecraft in the back of your mind, because it will come into a bigger role later. So these two don't get along, and they are traveling to the house of their dead aunt, along with their mother and them. The three of them, the mom, Vera, and Beth, are all traveling together to the house of their dead aunt, which the mom has just inherited. And this house only makes sense if you are in a horror movie. The house is basically decorated in nothing but taxidermy and old-timey, creepy porcelain dolls, which, again, plays a role later in the movie. But all of this, normal teenage domestic turmoil and fighting is interrupted when the family is attacked by two unnamed intruders, which are credited in the movie as Fat Man and Candy Truck Lady. So they pull up in the candy truck, and the two of them, the Fat Man using his size and strength advantage, and the Candy Truck Lady using a whip, fight the family, try to assault the daughters until the mother manages to save the sisters. And then we get a time skip of a number of years where Beth is now a successful writer. Her hobby for writing has continued into adulthood, and she's become a very successful novelist. And she is going home to visit her mother and Vera, who still live in the same house where the attack happened. The mother seems to be doing all right, but Vera is suffering from crippling PTSD from the incident, and instead of getting her the medical help that she needs, the girl's mom just keeps Vera, who is now an adult, locked in a padded cell in the basement, where she continues to act strangely and hurt herself, and neither Beth or her mother ever get Vera the help she needs from medical professionals, because we've reached this movie's first twist. It turns out during the attack, the mother was not able to successfully save the girls. The mother was actually killed. And and this is important, the 25 minutes of the movie where we're following Beth as an adult, talking about her book, seeing her husband and her kid, seeing her go visit her family as an adult, has all been a hallucination that was brought on by the trauma of the attack. So Beth has been laying on the ground because both her and Vera are now prisoners of the Candy Truck Lady, who, in all intents and purposes, takes care of the Fat Man because he is not mentally all there. So she's been hallucinating, and Vera has been getting basically sexually assaulted by the Fat Man, while all of this being supervised by the Candy Truck Lady. So the rest of the movie follows, which brings us back to the Lovecraft angle, where Beth is an unreliable narrator who has been driven insane by what she has experienced. Hence the Lovecraft, if you've read any of his work. So the rest of the movie follows Beth and Vera's attempts to escape the house, defeat the two villains, and they eventually do so. But what I really want to talk about, and all of this is, there's some beautiful shots. The movie is well made, well shot, good looking, scary at points. But I want to kind of step away from the psychological angle with Beth, which is what this movie focuses on, and focus on the actual tangible villains, which are the Fat Man and the Candy Truck Lady. And this is where I really kind of have a problem with what this movie is doing. Now, these characters are not really given any motivation, and their characters are not fleshed out or expanded upon in any way. All the focus is on Beth and her mental problems and them trying to escape. But these characters represent two really kind of hurtful tropes that have existed for a very long time in horror. And I mean, going back to like Psycho and Texas Chainsaw, that kind of shit. The Fat Man is an oversized brute who is, all but stated to have the mind of a child. He's cognitively or developmentally impaired in some way, which is never explained. And the lady from the Candy Truck Lady is a cross-dresser, or it's played by a male actor essentially in women's clothes and a wig. And the entire time I'm watching this movie, like I understand from the way that the character is being shot, this is what they're going for, and I'm just waiting for the wig to finally fall off, and it almost makes it to the end, and finally, as the cop character that rescues the two girls is gunning down the Candy Truck Lady, and she's like falling to the ground, that's when the wig finally comes off and revealing that, oh my gosh, it wasn't actually a lady, but a guy the whole time. So it shouldn't really have to be explained, but making these characters, your characters, a person that cross-dresses and a mentally handicapped person, giving them no redeeming qualities, backstory, character explanations, is something that you don't expect to see in a movie that was made so recently. Like, this movie was shot and produced back in 2016 and was released stateside in 2018. So you would expect that kind of shit to be in like the 60s, 70s, even getting towards the 80s, So, like I said, the movie is otherwise well done, but I thought it looks like it was well produced, but they also had issues on set. The actress that actually played the child version of Vera, ended up suing the director and the production company because she managed to, she was doing a stunt that involved banging on a piece of glass, and the glass shattered, and she had to get a bunch of stitches in her face. So between all the shenanigans that happened on set, and the kind of yikesy depictions of marginalized groups, really puts a damper on what otherwise is a pretty well shot, well thought of horror movie. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. Let me know what your thoughts are on the depictions of the Fat Man and the Candy Truck Lady. I'm happy always for discussion down in the comments. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.